Hey everyone, how you doing? This is Amon Green, Green Bay Packers all-time leading rusher, and you're watching Packers Total Access Live, your daily source for Packer content. Go Pack, go!
What's up, guys? Welcome into Packers Total Access. My name is Clayton. You can check us out on packernet.com. Find me on Twitter at Packers_access. Just wanted to jump in here a little early afternoon show for you guys and gals. Give you an update on some injuries that we've all been asking questions about here really throughout this entire season for the most part. We've got a Jayden Reed update. We kind of got a time frame on when he may return to the Packers lineup. We're going to talk a little Dontavion Wicks, give you an update on his recent injury. Wicks Lloyd, Matt LaFleur spoke on him earlier. Brenton Cox Jr., Colin Oliver, and LVN as well. So hopefully everybody's having an awesome day out there. If you would, before we dive into all the information, do that YouTube stuff for me. Hit like, hit subscribe. If this is your first time tuning into PTA, welcome. Thank you for making us a part of your day. We're not experts. We're not insiders. We're not media members. We're fans just like you talking Packers on the daily. So if you're looking for that type of content, make sure you click subscribe and hit that bell icon so you're notified when we go live in the future, like tonight, 6 p.m. Central, when we go live, PTA Live. We're going to talk all things Packers this evening and give you guys the entire injury report. We're going to continue to dive into the matchup between the Packers and the Eagles as well. We got everybody following in the chat. Bates in the house. Good to see you, buddy. We got Rob, the man, the myth, the legend over at GBP Daily. Appreciate you swinging through, brother. And then we got, let's see here, Northbound Media 83. Go Pack Go. Welcome in, sir. Appreciate you making us a part of your afternoon. Let's waste no time and let's get into it. I want to make this a quick stream. I want to continue to give you you guys and gals these live streams just throughout the day. Quick hitters, ton of information, and get out. Don't want to waste any of your time. So here we go. Injury updates. Jayden Reed shooting for a Thanksgiving return. Not sure if you guys heard about this or not, but Jayden Reed update. Receiver is targeting to return around Thanksgiving. Guys, how awesome would it be if he could be out there against the Lions on Thanksgiving Day? Now, obviously not at the detriment or the additional what am I trying to say here? Risk of him getting hurt any further. Obviously, if you're going to go on a playoff run, you want to make sure you got Jayden Reed healthy for that. But, man, if he can be out there fully healthy in terms of the Thanksgiving Day matchup, that would be absolutely awesome. A few other details that came from Tom Silverstein. The foot injury has fully recovered. So the Jones fracture, surgery, everything good there, right? You're good to go. Now we're just awaiting clearance for the collarbone injury, obviously, as he broke his collarbone earlier this year. And some people are probably wondering, how important is this for the Packers? Guys, I think it's huge. If you look here in 2023, this includes the playoffs. So including the playoff run there that they had in 2023, Jordan Love's first year as a starter. Romeo Doubs led the way at 908 yards receiving. Jayden Reed right behind him at 828. If you remove the playoff statistics, Jayden Reed actually led the Packers in receiving yards in 2023. Also had 8 touchdowns. He had 12.2 yards per reception. Just a really, really solid performance. His receiving EPA was a positive 23.4, and he had 377 yak yards as well. So solid performance there in 2023. Moving on to 2024, Jayden Reed led the Packers. This includes the playoffs, okay? He led the Packers last year with 903 yards receiving, 6 touchdowns, yards per reception, 15.3 with a catch percentage of 74.7, and his receiving EPA was a positive 40.8. So if you compare his first 2 years in the league, gang, he had more receiving yards last year than he did his rookie year, okay? His yards per reception went from 12.2 to 15.3. So you've seen a dramatic increase in that regard. So again, Tucker Kraft being out for the season with the ACL, the sooner you can get Jayden Reed back, the better, man. I'm telling you, that's what's really going to allow Jordan Love to play even more comfortably than he has already. Obviously, he's off to a great season here, Jordan is. You look at the EPA per drop back especially. It's going to be absolutely huge to get him back into the fold. As our good friend Drew says in the chat, Jayden Reed will be Tucker Kraft's replacement. Time to play more wide receivers. Completely agree, Drew. Completely agree. And we've seen Jason Weil out there today. I think it was Jason. I know his last name is Weil, if I remember correctly. The new tight end that's on the active roster. He was practicing today. I think he's wearing number 81. We'll talk about all that, show you some practice footage on PTA Live tonight that all the beat writers were pumping out there on X. But I'm with you, Drew. I think you press into 11 personnel a little bit more. I think that's going to be something that you're going to want to do. And don't be surprised if the running game opens up a little bit by spreading things out a touch. You'll still have your nasty splits predominantly. But, man, you go 11 personnel, throw a couple mid-Baylor splits out there, and watch the defense open up for Josh Jacobs. I really like that idea. So let's look at it from a PFF standpoint. We showed you the stats on NFL Pro for Jayden Reed. PFF-wise, rookie year, 75.1. Last year, 70.4. We always talk about 60 or higher your rookie year. Pretty good indicator you're going to be a good football player. He finished at 75.4 last year with a drop, or I'm sorry, 2023 with a drop grade of 79.6. PFF was real harsh on him with the drop grade in 2024. Still graded out of 70.4, but the drop grade was a 30.1. You guys know I've been very vocal about that. When we broke down the tape, there were many drops PFF was counting where he's extended. The ball is, it hits his hands, but he's full extension trying to catch an errant pass. I take some of that stuff into consideration as well. But 2025, Jayden Reed, only 5 targets, but 3 catches, 45 yards, and a touchdown. Guys, he was off to a strong start, obviously. It's only 5 targets. It's only, I don't even know how many games he played, to be honest. I guess it was just that one game he got hurt week 1, right? 89.9 was his PFF grade. So is he going to finish the year as an elite grade? Probably not. But I think it's safe to say he's going to finish in the 70s once again. And the reason you want him back by Thanksgiving, in my opinion, look at this stretch run we got right here, guys. You got the Eagles coming up this week, Monday Night Football. That's going to be a tough game, guys. It's going to be a tough game. When we did our preseason prediction, I had this as a loss for the Packers, me personally. Okay. Then you go on the road to the Giants. Listen, hopefully we all come to an agreement that there's no gimmies in the National Football League. I know some of the fans that were last week were acting like the Packers were just going to run the table, win the Super Bowl, and it's just going to be a cakewalk. Now all of a sudden they're screaming for everybody to be fired. Listen, it's the National Football League. That Giants game ain't no slam dunk win. There's not one slam dunk win on this schedule that's remaining. But I will say the Giants I had as a win. Okay, so we have to pick them. We do it every year. It's a part of being a podcaster. I don't like picking games. You probably caught on to that. I hate it. I despise it. It's something I don't enjoy doing. I would rather let's dive into the analytics. Let's dive into the tape. Let's see how the metrics stack up, and then everybody can formulate their own opinion whether they think it'll be a win or not. And I like to use Vegas's opinion in that as well. So Eagles this week at the Giants. Vikings back home. They've got J.J. McCarthy. Everybody's now acting like J.J. McCarthy's the second coming to Joe Montana. Dude didn't even pass for 200 yards, and we're pretending like he was just out there beating the world, setting everything on fire. That's a winnable game. I've got the Packers winning that at home, or I did in the preseason. Then you're back on the road at the Lions. I had them splitting those 2 games. I had them winning at Lambeau, losing on the road, same with the Vikings. So that Thanksgiving Day game, guys, you could go into Detroit like you did 2 years ago on Thanksgiving and possibly win that game. You're going to need Jayden Reed to help you do that, right? I think we would all agree. So for me personally, try to get him back out there on Thanksgiving. Don't try to rush it back on the Vikings. If it's iffy for the Vikings game, no. Let's hold them at least to Thanksgiving. And if this team can't go and beat the Vikings at home, maybe the team isn't as good as we thought they were. Maybe they're a good to very good team and not a great team like we talked about, right? I still think you got a playoff team. And listen, we're on the cusp of 2 or 3. If you go out and you beat the Eagles this week, right, somehow, some way, and the Packers are 2.5-point favorites, we know they're at home, which in my opinion, the way I've always looked at the gambling world is 3 points for home field advantage. So essentially, the Eagles are half-point favorites. All right. Now, some will tell you it's 1.5 instead of 3. I stay with 3. That's just me personally. So that being said, this is as close to a push as you're going to get. But if you go out there and you beat the reigning Super Bowl champion, number 1 seed in the NFC, Philadelphia Eagles at Lambeau Field on a chilly Monday Night Football at Lambeau, I think first of all, you're going to see those people that were calling for everybody's jobs. All of a sudden, they're going to have their chest poofed out like, all right, we're winning the Super Bowl again. If you lose that game, I'm already seeing fans that are saying, oh, that's the end of the season. You don't make the playoffs if you lose to the Eagles. Guys, it's week 10. What are we talking about? What are we even talking about here? So, again, next 4-game stretch, Eagles, Vikings, Lions, going to be some tough games. Giants, you should be able to win that ball game on the road. Wacky things happen when you're playing at away stadiums in the National Football League too. But what I would like to see happen here, somehow, some way, if you can win 2 of the next 4 here, right? If you win 3 of the next 4, you're sitting pretty nice. I think we would all agree. But you win 2 of the next 4, Jayden Reed comes back there potentially on Thanksgiving, and now you've got the Bears, Broncos, Bears, Ravens, Vikings left. The beautiful thing is the Packers are in control of their own destiny, as is any team in Week 10. But I'm really excited to see how this thing plays out down the stretch. Jayden Reed's going to be a huge part of that. Let's talk about some other injuries real quick. Just some quick notes. We'll hit on a little more detail tonight for PTA Live at 6 p.m. Central. Dontavion Wicks returned to practice today. Matt LaFleur said wide receiver Dontavion Wicks will practice today on a limited basis for the first time since his calf injury. There's footage out there. We'll show it to you on PTA tonight. He looked good. He looked healthy to me. Again, it was limited, so maybe we'll have him back this Sunday, and that'll help that stretch building up to Jayden Reed's potential return on Thanksgiving. Also, you've got Wicks Lloyd update here, okay? Second year, third round running back, obviously was sidelined by a hamstring and groin injuries, met with additional specialists to identify body imbalances contributing to these issues. All right. Likely underwent evaluation at UW-Madison, similar to the processes for Christian Watson and Eric Stokes. You guys know they got Christian Watson's hammy completely straightened out, right? So the rumor is they went through that process. I think that was Tom Silverstein that reported on that. But then today, head coach Matt LaFleur spoke on Wicks Lloyd, and he said, quote, "We sent him out west to another group to try and get his body right." Now, where's out west, right? As someone said in the Packers chat, go west, young man. Haven't you been told California's full of women, whiskey, and gold, right? Well, Toby Keith for y'all. That's the early days too, man. So did he go way out west? I don't know if Matt LaFleur expounded upon that comment there. I don't know. You guys are my Wisconsin folks in here. Is Madison technically west of Green Bay? Could be, right? You guys let me know in the comments what you think there, where he went to get that treatment. But nonetheless, they're trying to take this year and go, all right, we spent a third-round pick on Wicks Lloyd. Let's get these injuries right. And I know some people don't want to hear that, myself included, man. I want to see him on the freaking football field this year, right? However, they went this route with Christian Watson to a certain extent, and that seems to have fixed itself, right? No more hammy problems, knock on wood, right? So we'll see what the latest update is on Wicks Lloyd as the days unfold here. I'm kind of the point now, guys. I don't know if we'll see him back this year, right? Get that all squared away, get it fixed, get him ready for next year, right? So there we go. Looks like, jeez, old Pete. Oh, surprise OJ Simpson face. They're in California. Emoji. All right. So I seen they're in California, clicked on the comment, and then went to read who posted it, and surprise, it was the surprised OJ Simpson face. So there you go. Thanks, Juice. Appreciate you, buddy. All right, moving along here. Brenton Cox Jr. The stuff, man, that happens on this show. Brenton Cox Jr. and Colin Oliver, another couple names that people have been asking for as well, right? Both defensive ends close to returning, but the practice windows won't open unless needed. All right, what does that mean? Well, the Packers currently have 6 defensive ends on their 53-man roster as of this information being compiled from multiple sources, multiple articles. Okay, so the point here is, why rush them back when the defensive end room is already stacked, right? Like, if you knew based off what you've seen in training camp, Colin Oliver's an absolute stud, he's going to surpass everyone on the depth chart that's not starting, then yeah, you bring him back because you want to make your team better sooner rather than later. But if you're sitting here going, okay, no, he's still going to be behind Kingsley and Igbare. He's still going to be behind LVM, obviously Rashawn Gary, Micah Parsons, and whoever else, right? If he's going to be that far on the depth chart, don't activate him, man. Let him heal that thing up, right? That's the way I see that. And it kind of goes hand in hand with the same thing that with Brenton Cox Jr., right? With that edge room being so crowded, if you will. So just want to point that out. Packers currently with the 6 defensive ends on the 53-man roster is going to kind of throw a little bit of a wrench in their return. Now, we know, guys, blink of an eye, 1 or 2 of those guys could go down in a heartbeat, and now all of a sudden it's now worth it. Let's get Brenton Cox Jr. back up. Let's get Colin Oliver up and get him some reps, some meaningful reps this season. So another note that came down the pike, Lucas Van Ness expected to return soon from the foot injury, right? However, if you'll notice at the bottom, I put those out of order. I apologize for that. Lucas Van Ness did not practice on Thursday. You guys correct me if I'm wrong in the chat. I heard he did not practice at all, not even in a limited fashion. So that kind of surprised me. It almost feels like now, should they have put him on IR and taken advantage of that 4-week window? At the same time, did you really need the roster spot? The fact that you're carrying 2 kickers and you've got 6 defensive end already, probably don't need him, right? We're probably 5 without LVN, I would imagine. So probably don't need to rush it back, right? And at the time, you wanted to keep that window open. We're okay if we need him, we could rush him back. In this case, they don't feel like they necessarily need him. And the reality, guys, is that the defense is playing good football. We talked about it, man. They're top 10 in every statistical category. You got the number 1 pass defense in the league. You got the 9th best run defense. And I think we're 10th, if I remember correctly, in scoring defense. So it's not like you're chomping at the bit to get these defenders back. We are chomping at the bit. Wishing that we had Tucker Kraft, man. It still breaks my damn heart. And obviously you want Jayden Reed back as soon as possible. We all, we have talked about that over and over and over. So he's expected to return soon. Did not practice today. That doesn't mean he won't practice tomorrow, right? So we'll keep our ear to the streets for that. Unlikely activation for Cox or Oliver this season without multiple injuries at the position. We kind of hit on that. So don't expect those guys activated anytime soon unless we see other injuries. Oliver had surgery on his hamstring. We were kind of wondering what happened to Colin Oliver. Why hasn't he played? Why hasn't he come back sooner, right? Well, he ended up having surgery on his hamstring despite the initial comments from head coach Matt LaFleur at training camp suggesting it wasn't long-term. So that kind of indicates it was a misevaluation. But me personally, I don't think that's necessarily true. And I think that was kind of reported. Now, maybe there was a source involved with that reporting. For me, though, I think it was more along the lines of, hey, we don't really need him right now, so why rush him back? So I don't think it was a misevaluation. I think it was something that, hey, yeah, we could have surgery on it, right? So let's just go ahead and get surgery done because we feel really, really good about the edge room right now. It could have been the case as well. If you guys got information on that, let me know in the comments as well. So that's what we got going on, guys. Yeah, perfect. Ed Madden hit the nail on the head. Red shirt year for Oliver. Completely agree, Ed. Completely agree, man. So we will see what happens moving forward with these injuries. I got to do it. I got to stop. This is why when I go solo, I don't look at the chat. 2-0 for this says 2 kicker sets, 2 kicker sets, 2 kicker sets. What would that personnel be called 2-0 for this? Could you imagine having 2 kickers on the field at one time? Wow. I want to see Haversick running a non-fade down the sideline. You know what I mean? And have Brandon McManus. They snap the ball. Imagine this. You got Haversick, kind of that PP on the edge, right? He's ready to block. Ball snap. Whelan takes the snap. Brandon McManus goes around, little orbit around the holder, little flick over the shoulder. McManus, he loads that cannon up and comes back all the way across the field to Haversick on a non-fade. 2-0 for this, man. I think you did it, man. I think you unraveled what they were planning on doing. Chuck Jagger says Clay playing college Madden 2K, LOL, everything all in one. John Elway football from 1988, the whole 9 yards, Chuck. I'm dating myself now. So anyway, that's it, guys. That's all the info. I want to get out of here quick. I just want to get you guys that information that we had here, early stuff coming out of practice. So if you would, let me know in the comments what you think. If you're watching this video back later, let me know what you think about all the injuries we talked about. Let me know, do you think they're bringing some of these guys back too soon? Do you think they're babying them a little bit? We want to hear your take on that. Also, hit subscribe, click like, hit that bell icon so you're notified when we go live. We will see everybody tonight, 6 p.m. Central for PTA Live. I'm not looking at the chat anymore. Not going to do it, because we'll go over on this video. Thank y'all so much for jumping in here, man. It's absolutely awesome. We can just do a random stream and have 320 people jump in here and talk ball. You guys and gals are awesome. So hit that like button for us. We'll see y'all tonight. Everybody have a great day. My name's Clayton. This is PTA. Go Pack Go.
Here we go.
Bye, guys.